Now we're cooking. It's the coach. This is the 2020 season on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago, as it'll be the Atlanta Falcons taking on the New Orleans Saints. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, it is always a celebration here in New Orleans, and we are just outside of the French Quarter at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you look at this Saints team as they enter play. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Falcons, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They are led out by the 15th overall selection in 2019, former Ohio State Buckeye Dwayne Haskins.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that, and they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
On 1st and 10, it's Haskins. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Here now, the offensive starters for Atlanta.
It's a quick turnaround right out of the gate because there's a lot to cover in a short period of time. But the best teams, they simplify before they go play that Thursday night game. And they also believe it's way better to get your Thursday night game out of the way early before the body has been through too much. So if you ask people on scheduling, they want to play it early, not late.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Looking to throw, Haskins. He's going to look deep for more. A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 10 carries, 112 yards, and a touchdown.
And now that he's playing a Thursday night game, short week, you know he spent a lot of time in the trainer's room in the cold tub trying to get his legs back for this game.
On 2nd down, it's Cook. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 1.
Good job right there. Right there. 54. Right there. Right there.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards. Good for his Saints. First down. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 38.
From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Avery Williamson there to make the stop.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
From the 41, Wilson finding Sterling Shepard for his first catch. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep. And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's Wilson being chased out left. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 20-yard line. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
They'll run forward Montgomery. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. David Montgomery, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. Now they come in a top 10 unit against the pass, currently 8th in the NFL.
Yeah, defending the pass hasn't been an issue for them. It's been stopping the run. And if they don't stop the run, they can't get back to their strength, which is guarding against the air attack.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Second down, Haskins. And his throw is incomplete. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Yeah, last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Now Benjamin. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complementary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
You don't see that a ton, do you? With a cornerback coming over to the middle of the field to make a run tackle.
That's someone with a ton of confidence to feel like nothing is pressuring him on his side of the field. Sees that the ball is moved to the middle and just sprints over there to help out. He ends up getting the tackle. Well played.
A gain there of 21 yards. First down, here's the run with Cook. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. 6-0 our score after 1. On second down now, it's Cook. And now off to the races, down the right side. Touchdown, New Orleans. Dalvin Cook, his second touchdown on the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On second down, here's a run with Singletary. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Haskins to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end. But running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Looking to throw again on second down. Haskins. That's into the hands of the tight end, Boyle. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure kick.
Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. DeForest Buckner with a sack, the former number 7 overall pick.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. To try again after the sack. Haskins. It's complete to Hopkins. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Hurry up, 56. Mutts 56. Like 56.
3rd down. Here's Haskins. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Hassan Ridgeway in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
A great return there of 22 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Five men in the secondary now for the Falcons on third down. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Flushed out right. He's got some. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. On first down, Cook. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12. They run the counter with Cook. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. From the shotgun, Wilson. Looking for his receiver, Sharp, and it's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
So first thing that crossed my mind is why didn't they just sit on the lead and take it to the locker room? They're in good shape.
Absolutely. And from this spot on the field, now you've given the other side a chance for points here going into intermission.
Yeah, you changed the momentum of the game, and it's something you did not need to do.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10 now. Haskins trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
You're looking there at a defensive back who's maybe a step slower than he was when he came into the league a decade ago. I know I questioned his speed coming into the game, but what he's lost in speed, he's more than made up for it with intellect. And that's a great job of knowing how to position himself to make that interception.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Pressure brought in. Falcons get there for the sack. In that time for the sack, say hello to Chandler Jones. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson, now he'll let it go on the run. Deep left side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. A.J. Bouye, the fine quarterback, there to make the play defensively.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Buying time to his left. Here's Sanu on the catch. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Here comes the Saints punter now. Back deep is Philip Dorsett. Dorsett on the return. You call that an even 50 yards. the punt with 7 on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coach. You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. 2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Line 54. I know he ain't got it.
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. On 3rd down, Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage, and it will be 4th down.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go into the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
They'll indeed go for him with Wilson. Flush to his right. That's to his running back, complete. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Cook. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Again, it's Cook. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Touch Missy, touch Missy. Check. Lucky.
Now it's Wilson, eluding the pressure right. He'll run it. The escapability in evidence there. Is that one good for 15 and a 1st?
Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson setting up the screen for Cook. He'll get the 1st down and more inside the 20. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 15-yard line. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. They run it again with Cook. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal. They'll run with Cook. And he is is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Dalvin Cook, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Now Haskins. This one complete to Curtis Samuel. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
A little bit of space there for the first down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
On second down, Singletary, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. On third down, Haskins. Dorsett's got it. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. 4th down now after a loss of 2.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, it kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. Rodney McLeod that time able to knock it away. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Dontari Poe in on the stop. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Cook. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. Now Wilson to throw on 3rd down. And he finds Cook. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. To throw is Wilson. From the gun, he'll throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Sterling Shepard, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that makes the score 28-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And it all culminates in a Saints touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. but you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The throw complete to Dorsett. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The throw there finding its way to Boyle. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing again on second down. Haskins. Philip Dorsett, the intended receiver. But now it's third down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. That was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Wilson on third down. Escaping the pressure, and a big loss here as he's taken down. Chandler Jones able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Check curls, check curls. Block that. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54. All right. Here we go. Let's go, D. Let's go.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go. Quandre Diggs there defensively. And a failure on fourth down on the other side leads immediately to a first and goal. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout. Not sure I see the logic in this, but we'll get a stoppage anyway with 5 seconds remaining. So now, just like that, things change dramatically. It's first and goal. One final shot for Haskins. And this is going to be caught. So it affects the final score, not the outcome, but it is a late touchdown here on the game's final play. Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Well, on the one side, if you try to take away something positive from this game, they played to the final whistle, getting the touchdown there on the last play, but still, all for naught, really.
Yeah, I'd say give them points for positivity. I like that. That part is good. But I often wonder, when the game is settled and the clock is run out, do we really need to kick the extra point?
Oh, yeah.
It just